Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and back to another urban calisthenics workout. In today's session, we've got for you a full body calisthenics routine. We'll be doing 5 exercises for 60 seconds of work, no rest, 3 rounds, that's 15 minutes in total. Now, each of the exercises will be followed by a squat, so that means you've got to move into your deepest squat position whilst keeping your heels in contact with the floor before moving into the exercise itself. Now, 2 of those exercises, the spring tripod sit-through combination and the front to back lunge combination, will be 2-sided, so make sure you do both sides before returning back to your squat position and back to your standing position. And you do not need any equipment for this routine, just a small space to work in, and that is it. As always, get a great warm-up before starting this routine. Practice those instructionals before getting stuck in. It's important to me that you get the most out of this workout. We want to minimize any chances or any possibilities of injuries, maximize your performance throughout the workout. That's enough from me. Let's see what's in store. So for the tadpole, this is essentially a combination of a squat and a dive bomb push-up. So you're going to start by moving into your squat position. Once you've reached your end range, you're going to reach forwards with your hands, creating around about a 45-degree angle between your hands and your shoulders. At which point you're going to keep your hips high. You can keep your legs soft or even lock the knees out if you wish, but make sure you keep your hips relatively high. So you're going to be looking through your legs, and then from this position, I'm going to start taking the head towards the floor, just in front of the hands. As the head comes into the floor, I'm going to start to look forwards, driving the chest into the floor, and simultaneously sliding the feet away from the hips, keeping the hips at the lowest point here. From here, you're going to hop back into your squat position, make your way to standing, and then repeat. So squatting down, reaching forwards, sending the hips up, looking through the legs. Moving the head out in front of the hands, but turning the arms into the body, head comes into the floor. Start lifting the head up, drive the chest down, and then slide the feet back. You also have the option of hopping the feet back if you want to. Moving back into your squat position, and go again. So for the springing tripod to sit-through combination, these are something you may already be familiar with in previous episodes as separate exercises, but if we're putting them together in a combination, this is how it will look. So you're going to set up for the springing tripod to begin, forming a square, again, between your hands and your feet, but you've got to release one hand from the floor. From here, you're going to start by driving the knees forwards, and immediately after driving the knees forwards, we're going to send the hips up as high as possible, and the intention is to bring the second hand to the floor as soon as the hips drop down. So the hips go up high, driving the knees forwards, we land the hand. Now, the second hand comes into the floor, we have to level this up with the initial supporting hand, and we're going to spin all the way around and into our sit-through position, releasing that hand as the leg comes through that space. From here, we place the hand back to its original position, hooking the leg back at the same time. That brings us into our tripod. Ready to do the same on the opposite side. So it's knees forwards, hips high, land the hand. The second hand comes in line. We release that foot, we bring the leg through, we release the hand as the leg moves through that space. The hand comes down as we bring this leg back around. We move back into the tripod to repeat. So for our toes to wrist sprawl combination, what we're looking to do is to set up into a pike position, forming a square between the hands and the feet. Keep the hips up nice and high and focus on keeping the legs as straight as possible. To initiate our toes to wrist, what you're going to do is shift some weight forward, so taking the shoulders in front of the hands, compressing the floor as firmly as you possibly can, you release one foot on one side. The intention is to bring that foot as near to the wrist as you possibly can without the foot touching the floor. And then you recover by placing the foot back to its original position and then doing the same on the opposite side. So moving forwards, compressing, release the foot, keeping the leg straight, pull the foot up towards the wrist, place it back in its original position, and then we set up for the sprawl. So for the sprawl, we're then going to take our weight forwards once again. When we sprawl, we're just going to hop both feet out at the same time, driving the hips to the floor, roll the shoulders back, keep the shoulders packed down as best you possibly can, move back into the pike, and then repeat from there. So weight shift, compression, release the foot, keep the leg straight, pull the foot up towards the wrist, it goes back to its original position, we go forwards once again, release the foot, back towards the wrist, back to its original position, we go back into our weight shift, send both feet back into the sprawl, hips down, try to keep the legs off the floor at this point, move back into your pike, and then repeat. So for our front lunge jump to front to back lunge combination, we're going to start by moving into the first lunge from a squat position. So we're going to move into our squat position, heels down on the floor, and we're going to take a step back with one leg. From here, this knee is as close to the floor as we can get it. Ideally get the knee around about the same level as the heel. When we land that foot, we're going to try and think about pulling the abs in, bringing the shoulders forward slightly. From here, we initiate our first switch. So we're going to switch the feet around, landing pretty much the same position in that lunge. From here, I now take a step forwards with that leg. Once I've reached the end position, I drive back to the original position, switch the legs around again, do a forward lunge on the opposite side, go back to the original position, into a squat, and then back to standing. So one more time. Squatting down, stepping back into your first lunge. Think about your shape when you land that position. Switch the legs around, go forwards in your first front to back lunge. Take it back to its original position, switch the legs once again, go forwards, back, and then back into your squat position. So for the pop-up, push-up combination, this is essentially made up of 3 parts. The resting squat, the quad press, and the push-up itself. So you're going to start yourself off in your deepest squat position where you can keep your heels in contact with the floor. From here, the idea is to transition into the quad press. So I'm going to bring the hands in contact with the floor, hop the feet back, so I'm essentially forming a square between the hands and the feet. From here, you're going to perform your first quad press. So bringing the head in front of the hands, closing the gap between the backside and the heels. As I extend the arms, I'm going to hop back and perform a push-up. Now, depending on strength, this can be a push-up on the knees, or it can be a push-up in full. Off the back of the push-up, you're going to hop forwards back into the exact same position for the resting squat, and then repeat the process. So we go quad press, push-up, resting squat. so much for joining me in this calisthenics workout. I hope you had a great time challenging yourself and breaking a sweat. If you did find this workout useful and beneficial, please give me a like. Keep up the great work, stay motivated, and I'll see you on the next workout.